start 3.3. We're going to discuss, I think you guys already know how to add and subtract mixed numbers. But first, we want to say a quick hello. Go ahead, class. Hello. Good job. Your classmates miss you, and they wanted to say hi. All right. Do we have our notes out in front of us?
Yeah.
Is your name on the top of your notes?
Yeah.
All right. Let's start with example 1, and we're going to just jump right into a word problem. Your favorite, I'm sure. You're training for a race. On Monday, you run 2 3/4 miles, and on Tuesday, you run 4 3/4 miles. What is your total mileage? So here's my first question. What am I going to do with these two numbers? Okay, Sophie?
Either add or subtract.
Okay, so how do I make that decision whether I should add or subtract? Nate?
Total.
Say that again?
It says, what is your total?
What is your total? So the wording right here, total mileage, okay, total miles run, gives you the idea, oh, I need to put those together. And we put things together by means of addition. All right, so let's get our mixed numbers written here. I like writing them vertically so that it stands out a little bit better. Okay. All right, so we have 2 3/4 miles and 4 3/4 miles, and we want to put them together. We're going to add them together. So how do we go about that? There's several options that we can follow. And you know me, I'm going to give you options because we all don't learn the same way. Is that true?
Yes.
So somebody else's options may be different from yours, but if we all get the same answer, it's okay. All right? So option 1, we can just add it the way we see it. Okay? Start with adding your whole numbers together. What's 2 plus 4? 6. What's 3/4 plus 3/4? 6/4. Okay? Now we don't leave mixed numbers with an improper fraction in it, okay? We just don't. So the way that we're going to turn it into its own.
Improper fraction.
You can. That is an option you can do.
Proper fraction.
You could, from here, you could make the whole thing an improper fraction. How do we do that? What's the process, Watson?
4 times 6, and then 24 plus 6, and then that's 30.
Okay. Good job. And then what do we do from here?
Turn into a proper.
Okay. Or a mixed number because it's improper. So, go ahead. Okay, you want to reduce it first?
Oh yeah, reduce it.
You could.
If you wanted.
If you wanted to. You could reduce now or wait till later. Now, let's wait till later just for the sake of argument, okay? How many times does 4 go into 30 without going over?
7, 20.
Okay, how much do we have left over?
1. No, yeah, 2.
2. Good.
4.
And then can you
It'll
reduce
be
that?
7 1/4.
7 1/2. That's okay. That's all right. Okay. Now here's the other way you could go about this. You could turn it into, just actually not turn it into an improper fraction, just leave it in this form, recognizing that 6 6/4 is the same thing as 6 plus 6/4. Now, that's what's true about mixed numbers. The whole number plus the fraction makes the mixed number. So 1 plus 1/2 is 1 1/2. 6 plus 6/4 makes 6 6/4. Okay? That's the idea behind
I
it.
like the improper fraction part.
You like that one better? Okay, use that strategy.
Okay.
Now here, what we're going to do is we're going to focus in on the improper fraction, and we're going to make it a mixed number, and then we're going to add it to our 6. Okay? So what's another way we could write 6/4?
2 and 2. No, that's 3.
So let's talk about it. Hang on. 4 goes into 6. How many times without going over?
1 time.
1 time. Okay, if we go in 2 times, that's 8. We're way over 6. We've overshot it. We overshot it just a little bit, so we can only go in 1 time. How many's left over?
2/4.
Okay. And then what's 6 plus 1 2/4?
7 and 2/4.
Which is reduced to
7 and 1/2. That might be easier.
So it's really, you have some options. You're not stuck by any stretch of the imagination. Now here's another way you could do it. You're like, what? You just showed us 2 ways. Let me show you another way. All right, you could take 2 3/4, 4 3/4, and go ahead and turn them both into improper fractions right now. So let's start with this one. Let me get the layer. Okay, good. Turn this one, this first fraction, into the improper fraction.
2 times 3, wait, you want 2, oh yeah. 4 times 2 equals 8 plus 3, 11.
Okay,
Number 4.
and then let me get Avery on this side. 4 3/4. Change that one for me.
4 times 4 is 16 plus 3, 19 over 4.
Great. And then Nicole, can you add 11 fourths and 19 fourths? 30. You got it. 34. Okay. Isn't that cool? So you could do it, and then you could do what we did over here. 4 goes into 30 how many times without going over? 7 with 2 left over, and then just reduce it. Okay. So I just showed you 3 different ways to solve just one problem. Okay. Now everybody take a second and let's do 1 2/3 plus 2 2/3. Pick your strategy and try it. If you have already done that one, go to B. And if you've already done that one, go to C. I gotta. It's not on.
Yes, it is.
All right, we're going to jump into example 2 now. We've tried the bottom 3 examples. What was going on in the first example that's different in the second example? Go ahead, Sophie. Yeah, the denominators. Remember? Yeah, in the first one they were common, and now we don't have common denominators. Okay? So again, as always, I'm going to show you a couple strategies, give you some tools, and we'll get you going here. Okay. Now strategy 1 is to turn them into improper fractions and then decide what your common denominator is. You can do it that way. You can also go ahead and get your common denominators in your fractions and then turn them into improper fractions. However you want to do that is fine. Let me show you the first one. What's 4 times 1 plus 1? Or 4 times 4 plus 1? 17 fourths. And then what's 3 times 3 plus 2?
11 thirds.
11 thirds, okay? So you could go ahead and turn them into improper fractions first. Then what would be an appropriate common denominator? 12, okay? So you can turn them both into 12ths. 4 goes into 12 3 times. And then off to the side, figure out what 17 times 3 is.
51.
51. Good. Do the same thing here. We'll do 3 times 4 is 12. 11 times 4 is 44.
So you do 51 plus 44.
Yep.
And that would be 98. 95.
95 over 12.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then how many 12s are in 95 without going over?
11.
12 times 11, I think is 132.
Isn't it like
12 times 8 is 96.
12 times 7?
Okay, so it goes in 7 times. 12 times 7 is 84. And then how much is left between 84 and 95? 11. There you go. Okay, so you could do it that way. You could. I'm not saying that's how you have to do it, but that's an option. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, I have that.
Could we ever do like, what if like 95 over 12? Would we ever be able to do like just 12 going into 95? Like, that's like, are we allowed to do like 12 going into 95 like division form that we just did?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we did it mentally. I didn't actually write the division There's some numbers, I thought maybe with the 12 times tables you would be able to do this one. That's why I didn't show that division box. So, but yeah, you would do the division box on numbers you couldn't do in your head. Exactly. All right, now I'm going to do another one. I'm going to show you another strategy. Okay. This time, we're not going to turn it into an improper fraction first. We're going to take our fractions and turn them so that they have a common denominator. Now, as you told me before, 12 is a great option. Okay? Can somebody close that side door, please? Thank you. All right, good job. So, let's change 1/4 into 12ths. And what will that look like?
Wait, 4 into what?
Change 1/4 into 12ths.
17? No. Oh. What?
So 4 times 3 is 12, so 1 times 3 is 3. Right.
Sorry, I
So
was
it's
like,
okay. I figured you were confused if we just done this other one like that. So we want to change 4 and 1/4, so it becomes 4 and 3/12. We want that common denominator, all right? So we're going to multiply top and bottom in the second fraction by 4, so our second fraction will be 3 and 8/12. Okay? Now, you don't have to turn them into improper fractions. You don't have to. You can. I showed you how to do that over here. Okay? You can just add them up. So let's start with the whole numbers. What's 4 plus 3? Now let's add the fractions. 3/12 plus 8/12. And you could do it that way as well. So either way works. Either way works. You're going to get to the same answer regardless. Okay? All right, go ahead and try the bottom quick checks, and then we'll call some volunteers up. All right, recorder. Let's get this going. All right, so now we're going to do example 3, and of course they like to throw in word problems, so we're pretty good at these. I think we can figure it out. Okay, you bought 6 1/9 yards of ribbon, but you used 2 2/3 yards to make a pillow. How many yards of ribbon do you have left? My first question is, how do you know what to do with these two numbers? Like, what gives it away, Sophie?
Okay, it says how many yards did you have left?
Did you have left? So that indicates what operation?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. So we're going to take what we started with,
6 1/9
and we're going to take away what we used. Okay? So take a second and see if you can figure this one out on your own. You guys have gotten really good at this. What's that? Oh, what was confusing about that?
I don't know if I did it wrong, but after multiplied it, 6 1/9 minus 2 and 6 9.
Okay? Okay, no problem. Don't panic. I'll tell you exactly what to do from here. Okay? Do you see what she was saying? She went ahead and created common denominators in the fractions, and we have a little bit of a problem here. And I want to show you 2 strategies that you can do. First strategy that I think most kids are very, very comfortable with is turn them both into improper fractions and solve. Okay, so that's going to be option 1. So 9 times 6 plus 1.
9 6 is 52. No, 52.
Plus 1. 55. Okay. And then 9 times 2 plus 6.
9 plus 2 plus 6.
9 times 2 plus 6.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Okay, now
Sorry.
it's okay. Because you have common denominators, you can go ahead and subtract those 2 numbers. And what are you going to get?
Wait, I'm 8, 5 next.
31.
31, sorry.
31 over 9. How many 9s go into 31 without going over? 3 times. And then what's left over?
4.
Yep. So that's how many yards you have left from what you originally purchased. Okay? Now that's one option that you can do, is just turn them both into improper fractions. You already have your common denominators, and do the math from there. Okay? Here's the second one. It's not as easily understood, and I'm going to go a little slow until we figure it out. Okay? Now, can you do 1 minus 6? No, you actually can't. You can do 6 minus 1, but you can't do 1 minus 6. So we are going to do something called the borrowing method, okay? We're going to borrow, let me rewrite it up here. We're going to borrow from the 6. We're going to take 1 away from the 6, making it a 5. And we're going to take the 1 and we're going to add it to the 1/9. So what's 1 and 1/9 as a fraction? 1 and 1/9 as a fraction.
1/9.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take that 1 and add it to the 1/9. We're going to take that 1 that we took away from the 6 and we're going to add it to the 1/9.
So 2/9.
So what's 1 plus
1 and
1/9? 1 and 1/9 is what fraction?
1 and 1.
What fraction is that?
Oh. 10 over 9.
10 over 9.
Oh my God.
Okay, now go back over it one more time, just to make sure that that you see it, because you're busy writing. So let me show you again. We took 6 and 1/9, and we recognize I got to borrow from the 6. I got to take 1 away from the 6, making that a 5. So I dropped that down, and I took that 1 and I added it to the 1/9. You told me that 1 plus 1/9 is 1 and 1/9, right? And then we took the 1 and 1/9 and we turned it into an improper fraction, right?
Oh, 10 9.
9 times 1 plus 1 is 10 over 9,
And then you
okay?
subtract.
Now, do I have enough to subtract 6/9 from 10/9? Can I do 10 minus 6 now?
Yes.
I can. So let's start with whole numbers. What's 5 minus 2?
3.
And what's 6? No, you added. 10/9 minus 6/9.
4, 9.
And then you're done.
Okay, that was really confusing.
It is confusing. That's why I
I like
think most students feel more comfortable with the top way. I do have a few that are like, no, I really got the borrowing thing. I got that. So,
the borrowing.
okay, you do what's easier for you. Yep. That's okay. That's all right. A lot of kids don't. I don't think I got it till like high school or college, so I understand that. Okay. Yes.